All right, the last example here might not be on your notes. You might want to add it to it. But here we want to write an equation of a radical function. Okay, so if we're given a function, we want to write an equation for it. So basically, it does this form. Uh, the nth root, a is out front, and then we have, usually it is uh, x minus h, and then plus k at the end. Now, anytime it's a square root, right, that means it's gonna should just look like this, right? Either like that, or like this, that's ugly, or like this, or like this, right? One of those four. And if it's an even number, it's always gonna look like that, right? So anytime this is even. Then anytime it's odd, it should look like this one on the graph, right? We're going in this direction and then down, right? Rotates 180 degrees about the origin, or it can flip and go this way, right? Like that, or it can look like this, flip that way, oops, like that. But we have some kind of central point every time, right? Flips, yeah, that's about it. I guess, yeah. Okay, so I guess those two are kind of the same. Those are exactly the same. So really, it's just basically these two, right? All right, so let's go ahead and clear this ink from this. Uh, there we go. Okay, so we know that ours is an odd root. And since we're only doing cube roots, we know this is going to be the cube root, right? So we know it's going to be a cube root. Now we need to find that central point, right? What's that central point? Well, that one's right here, okay? So we go over 1, 2, 3. So we would normally think we'd put, oh, I'll go over 3, it's x minus 3. But what makes that 0, right? So what makes that 0 would actually be, if I set this equal to 0, I would just get x equals positive 3. So that would be put me over here, right? So it's actually x plus 3 because I need to go negative 3, right? And then in that problem, I would set that equal to 0, and I get negative 3, which it is over negative 3. So inside is always opposite. So it's going to be x plus 3. Now, what are we adding to this? So that one's our y value, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's just a plus 4 outside the root. Okay, now we have to find this a, which can be a little tricky, but the easiest thing to do is just go over 1. So over 1 to the right, and then do I go up or down? And since I go up, it's going to be a positive a. And I go up 1, 2. So it's just going to be a positive 2. Okay, if I have to go down to find it, it's just going to be a negative 2. So if I go right 1 and down to hit it, then it's just going to be a negative a. Now, you could, if you had to go, if you went left and down 2, then it could be, you could put, it would be the same thing, right? Both negative. So since it's negative left and down 2, that'd be negative over negative, which is a positive. Still get a positive 2. Okay. So if you had to go over and down, it'd just be a negative. Okay. All right. So there's our equation. That's what represents it. Bam. Done. Wrote our equation of a cube root.